What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. I'm trying to have a good one. Today, let's get into it. We had President Clinton being deposed by, the House Republicans and Democrats. And the first thing out the gate was President Clinton came out and just said, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I did hang out with him. I didn't know any of this stuff. I hung out with him before 2008. It was around 2002, 2003. I didn't know anything about this. And I think you should continue down this path of finding out who was. I'm not saying that you should stop the investigation. You should continue. Doesn't sound like he's guilty in that situation. Now, I can't say if he is or isn't. The investigation must still go on. But the reality is that he said to keep going. What guilty person wants you to keep going and looking deeper and deeper into this? Because Donald Trump don't want you to dig any deeper. That to me tells me he's guilty. Because only a guilty person wants you to stop an investigation. Whereas your name is in the investigation like thick. I mean thick. And you don't want nobody paying attention to these documents or to anything else. I've been exonerated. How you been exonerated when there hasn't been really an investigation about it? When it first started in 2019, who was in charge? That was Bill Barr. We know Bill Barr has skin in the game. His father is the person who introduced Jeffrey Epstein to the rich world. He's the one that let him in. So if he let him in, come on now. Saying that nobody investigated you in 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and ended up dead under Bill Barr, whose father invited Bill Barr to a school full of kids and wrote a book. Bill Barr's father, Donald Barr, I believe it is, wrote a book about being a pedophile, but being an extraterrestrial pedophile, having sex with young kids, and he gets fired from his job because he's the head of young kids because he released a book 8 months prior that the school found out that that Bill Barr's father had dreams of grandeur of some alien being a pedophile, and that was out of his fucking mind, and he ends up bringing a pedophile into the school who gets fired a year later. I mean, fucking 1 + 1 = 2, bitch. I mean, this shit kind of adds itself together. I mean, Bill Barr's father writes a book about pedophilia, but they're aliens. And he invites a pedophile, the one who comes out to be one of the biggest pedophiles, running the biggest sex trafficking ring in America that we know of. And Bill Barr, that's the son of said pedophile book writing bastard. And he's the head of the jail when the pedophile that his father brought to schools gets caught up for the second time, he ends up dead. I mean, it's a book in itself. I mean, you would be like, damn, who would have ever thought how to write this? The guy who introduced the pedophile to children in the elite world gets elite jobs after that because he got introduced to the elite world by an elite daughter of one of the students that he got connected to, Epstein. That person's daughter tells dad at Bear and Stearns, I like this guy. And that dad listens to his teenage daughter and hires said guy. I mean, the book writes itself. But they brought in President Clinton, and he answered the questions. Not only did he answer them, this man went on a long tirade for some of them. Democrats was like, he rambling. We all know Bill can ramble. Hell, I can ramble. That's what speakers do. We go out in detail and keep it going, right? We paint the picture. Even if you don't even want to see the picture, even if you get the picture already, we still paint that bitch. That's just how we do. People who love to tell stories. So Bill Clinton goes on and on. He didn't say, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, which Donald Trump said, if you plead the fifth, you'll be guilty. But this bastard done pled the fifth every time he's been deposed, pretty much. They asked Donald Trump today, what do you feel about Bill Clinton being deposed? Well, I don't like it. Of course you don't like it. And he goes, after that, he goes, but they done worse. They done worse to me. I got charged for stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, they didn't do worse to you. You got charged for crimes you actually fucking committed and was found guilty of them. He was his situation, if you want to go back to Monica Lewinsky, he did some dirt, and they actually deposed him back then in court. He was the first president to set the precedent that you can literally depose him while he's the most powerful man in the fucking world. Donald Trump, being the most powerful man in the world, can be deposed because back in 1998 or whatever it was, when Bill Clinton was deposed in a court of law, even more stringent than being in one of these committees, but still under oath, he was deposed. Yes, he was. And then now here it is, many years later, he's deposed again. So as a president, sitting president, he was deposed. As a post-president, he was deposed. So that means Donald Trump can be deposed. They set the precedent. Republicans set that precedent today for the post-president. And they set it in the past when he was actually president. So what is this shit that the Republicans are talking about? Well, we got to see if it's precedent. It's already precedent. You did it to Bill Clinton, not once, but twice. Here's the crazy part. We all know that they have Clinton derangement syndrome. So why didn't Republicans come out and like have a gotcha moment? Why didn't they come out and say, Bill Clinton said this and we know he's guilty, blah, 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 blah. Why didn't they do that? Because you know they have been chomping at the bit to get the Clintons at anything. Benghazi, everything that the Bill Clinton, the Clintons have ever stood for. Their nonprofit organization. When Donald Trump's organization is nonprofit, he can't have anymore because he's just corrupt. They were like, Bill Clinton, there's corrupt too. There's corrupt too. And it turns out it's not. Investigated and they still got it. Explain that shit to me. They investigated Donald Trump, you don't have it. They investigated the Clintons, and they still have it. The Clintons have been more investigated than any other president, the first lady in history. Now, what they set the precedent today for is for Melania Trump to get deposed. And every American should be asking for that. Why? I'll show you why. I'll show you why. I'll give it to you right here in a second. Hold on. Hold on. That's why. Right there is why. Right there is why she needs to be deposed. Look how close she is to him. And first off, we already figured out through these Epstein files and through Michael Wolff, whom is being sued for $1 billion, he's suing her back, and they need to be deposed because of it. And they've been kind of stalling because they know this man has the goods on him. And we know he has the goods on him today now. Pay attention to this shit. We've been talking about this because we spit straight facts, baby. We've been talking about this since the very beginning. Yesterday, I showed you, I was one of the first people to put that picture up. Now, I'm going to do it right now. Let's see what that. The picture of Jeffrey Epstein with Howard Lutnick. I put that shit up yesterday because Thomas Massey put it up. And it turns out it is real. The Epstein files have been updated. It is back up, ladies and gentlemen. It is back up. So this bastard was on that island with his kids and his business partner, and was business partner with Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't understand it. How is he so gross? But many years later, you're on the island, and it looks like you're kind of comfortable. Do anybody believe this bastard stayed on that island for just 1 hour? Nobody believes that shit. Nobody believes that. Lied he wasn't there. Then said he was there for only an hour with his family and everybody else. And now you see a picture of him comfortable, hanging out, looking over the ocean or whatever, and then walking back. Do you think this was an hour meeting? An hour meeting is structured. You feel me? Everybody done been in a meeting before. An hour meeting is structured. Y'all all get in there, got to talk for a minute, got business deal. All right, cool. We got this going on. We got that going on. We're going to invest in this. What do you think about this? I think about that. You don't bring your kids on no business meeting. Your kids? What your kids got to do with it? They over here talking about boogers and bubble gum. And you sitting here like, what? We ain't got time for this shit. This is business. This is multi-million-dollar shit. And you brought the little turds with you? Nah, that ain't even a thing. That ain't even a thing. This is a man hangout shit. We out here chilling. Look at his partner sitting down with his fat ass. Just sitting down, just chilling. And that ain't no 1 hour meeting. They ain't even together on this shit. They stay separate. They kind of a distance between each other. What kind of meeting was that? It wasn't. They may have had the meeting prior, but they went walking the island, hanging out. So that ain't no hour meeting, bro. So we already know you lied. We already know he lied. We're getting back to the fact that Melania needs to be deposed because her and Ghislaine were cool. We need to ask Melania, were you Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend before you were Donald Trump's girlfriend? Because that's the story. Is it true that Michael Wolff says, this Michael Wolff person, that you had sex with Jeffrey Epstein, was dating him before you dated Donald Trump? Is this true? And did Donald Trump get introduced to you by Jeffrey Epstein? Because if so, you're more connected to Jeffrey Epstein than we thought. How much do you know Ghislaine Maxwell? How long have y'all known each other? Get her under oath asking these questions, baby, because I believe you'll find out the truth in those other 3 million documents they've been hiding. You'll find out. And I don't know for sure, but you don't hang out like this. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's just go back a little bit. You know, you guys have all hung out with girls and guys. If you're a husband and wife, you don't hang out with another husband and wife. Y'all don't chill. Because, you know, when you get married, you kind of almost always, not all the time, but you're out of that little partying group. You're more in the house party and shit. You ain't out in the streets doing stuff most of the time. So not unless you're a Kardashian or some shit. But for the average married couple, you bring the party to the crib. No more wilding out. Just bring it to the crib. You're already there chilling. Right? Or for them, they have their own ballrooms and shit. They're at parties together, hanging, taking pictures. They comfortable with each other. There's no uncomfortableness. There's no weird stares at somebody. They having a good time. Turns out that even the photographer that made Melania famous, you know, those naked pictures that she took to claim herself to be a model. This kind of like Italian, Latin, whatever he was. He's kind of like a slick dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a photographer who took the nude pictures of her that made her somewhat famous. That helped her get her passport in this country, to become an immigrant, to become American from being an immigrant. So for her to get all of her papers and everything set together, this photographer, along with like Epstein, because Epstein did this for more than one person. There are other people just like Melania that was taking pictures by this. They were from other countries. This guy take their pictures and also help them with getting becoming an American, going through a process. That's how she got this Einstein visa when the bitch ain't no Einstein. Listen to her. She sound dumber than Donald Trump. Not because she can't speak English. She just can't put fucking words together. And here she is on an Einstein visa? Come on, y'all. Come on. Ain't nothing Einstein about her. Dumb as a box of bricks. And you're going to say to me, oh, I'm on an Einstein visa. No way, no how. That's just illegal. Should be revoked. Einstein visas for bright people. Ask her to complete a math problem. Hell, ask her to finish a fucking English sentence. Be best, bitch. Come on. Give me a break. She started a program where the shit don't even make fucking sense. It went through a bunch of people and it came out be best. What the fuck is that? Came out sounding slow. Sound like she need a helmet and a chin strap just to speak. Who lying? Come on. You know she wore a helmet and a chin strap. Talking like that? No way. No way she passed any test for this country. Ask her what America stands for. Ask her what is the Constitution. I guarantee you she don't know none of that shit. None of it. She needs to be deposed. They also need to investigate how she became an American citizen because I believe it was illegal. That's my 2 cents. I believe it's illegal. Why? Because she's not an Einstein. She doesn't deserve an Einstein visa. If she had got it on a work visa or some other shit, no. Einstein. Ain't nothing Einstein about her. She ain't even Ein. Not even the beginning of Einstein. This bitch ain't even eh. Come on. Be realistic. Be realistic. She probably needs a tutor to spell her own name. But anyway, this is why she needs to be deposed. Pedophile, his mistress pedophile. We know this orange creep is a pedophile based on documents that we believe the girl instead of Donald Trump. She says he was. She said he did it. She came with details. I believe her. And then you got the other one who used to be in a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, according to Michael Wolff, that she was on a plane, which was Jeffrey Epstein's plane, the first time she consummated sex with the orange creep. Okay? Sick. So I would say depose her and ask her those questions. Michael Wolff, do them a solid. Send them some questions to ask her. Because you know what's up. Michael Wolff knows what's up. Send them the questions to ask them. Send the House Democrats the questions to depose Melania and Donald Trump. Seeing as how they're suing you and they won't give you the information you need, this is the way that they can get under oath and get the answers to the questions that you asked Michael Wolff. Now send that shit to the Democrats and we'll see when they get their ass there. Now, the Republicans going to be play bitch on this. Oh, he's exonerated. You know what I'm saying? Here is the Republicans after the Clinton deposition. This is the Republicans. Let's listen to them.
Mr. Chairman, President Trump said today that he knew nothing about the Epstein files and he was exonerated. Do you agree that he is exonerated of this matter?
From all the evidence I've seen, he's been exonerated for a long time.
Bullshit. From all the evidence I've seen, you blockhead bastard, you lying. Ain't shit he said or anybody said that's been exonerated. In fact, you're about to hear Nancy Mace, the woman who says that she is a victim of sexual assault too, right? That's what she says. She came out and said the victims have come out and exonerated Donald Trump. They done no such thing. In fact, some of the victims came out and had a spokesperson out of one of the victims that literally said, we've never said anything about Donald Trump being exonerated at all. We're talking about our individual cases. There are literally like 1,200 of us. We did not exonerate him from the other fucking 1,199, bitch. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't do anything to me. He wasn't there for me, but I can't speak for the 1,100, and 99. I'm 1,200. He didn't do nothing to me. But I didn't exonerate him whatsoever. Don't put that on me. And for Nancy Mace, who says that she is a person who was assaulted by some man in her life, to come out and say that is egregious. Because I don't believe that you are a survivor if that's the way you think. That you're going to take the women who have spoken, which is like a small percentage of the entire 1,200, and the ones who've spoken behind the scenes on in front of on a record, have literally said Donald Trump raped them. About 3 of them have said that. At least 2 of them on the record, and one has deposition after deposition after deposition, and the FBI found her to be credible. And you want to sit here and talk about the women who say that he've never touched them, but you agree, Nancy Mace, that there's about 1,100 to 1,200 of them that they know of. And you took one person who said that and said that he's been exonerated for all of them. Bullshit. He is not. Karen Johnson and a few other ones. The one that was with Tiffany when he raped the 14-year-old girl and Tiffany was in the room. There's a witness to corroborate that actually happened. And you guys ain't fucking talking or even trying to find Tiffany. I ain't heard Tiffany come out of nobody's fucking mouth. I had to read the shit in the files myself. I haven't heard the Democrats or the Republicans say, where's Tiffany? Who's Tiffany? And why is there a witness? And where's her deposition? Where's her 302? Because they know Tiffany. We see her little signature, Tiffany. Where the fuck is Tiffany? Because if you haven't interrogated or asked questions or whatever it is, deposed Tiffany, which in these documents it says that she was a witness to it. If you got a witness and the actual child that got raped, where the problem is? Like Martin used to say, what the problem is? What the problem is? Why are we still here talking about it? Why aren't we asking Donald Trump? These children said you raped them. What say you? Where were you on this day? What say you? Do you have evidence to prove he was there? What say you? Come on now. How the hell are you going to sit here and say they deposed, that he's exonerated from some shit when they didn't even investigate him? He tried to play it off and act like, oh, I knew that he was this way. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Good you caught him. Calling that chief of police who suspected Donald Trump because of the fact that he's like, this dude just came out of the blue after we caught him to say that he knew. If he knew, then why wasn't he the first person to call us and tell us he was doing it? They had a question about him, Donald Trump. They didn't believe that Donald Trump did not know. It's just odd that Jeffrey Epstein ends up dead. The guy who is so stuck on himself. The guy who got away with it the first time just thought it was up. The gig was up on his second try when he still had all the information to put all y'all behind bars if you fuck with him. And he all of a sudden, I'm going to take my life. His brother don't even believe this shit. Who also needs to be deposed. Because some shit he said in here, I want to know who Bubba is. Who's Bubba? And why was his testicles in Donald Trump's mouth? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Is it true or was you bullshitting? Jeffrey Epstein's brother? Do you have a name? Who was that? Get to the bottom of it. Facts or fiction, bitch. If he was lying, get him on the oath, tell us that. So that we don't have this, oh, I was just talking shit. Okay, all right. You got on the oath, you were just talking shit. But if we find out that he did do it, your ass going to jail. Americans are tired of y'all lying. I don't care who you are. Empowered people lying to the people who not only invest their time and money and faith in y'all, They trust that you have their best interest at heart. They vote for you. They stand up for you. They go to your rallies. They go to whenever you speak, and they believe in you. And if you are a liar, you are a piece of shit, because they come out because they trust that you're telling them the truth. No matter who you are. All politicians. If you ain't coming out telling the truth, fuck you. People didn't spend their money and their time and their family trying to make decisions for their family, and you a piece of shit. We don't like none of y'all who lie. Get that shit straight. Just want you to know. Republican, Democrat, Independent. If you running for office right now and you a liar, fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck your daddy. Fuck your grandma. Fuck your dead cousin. I don't care who it is. Fuck all y'all. But if you telling the truth, we love you. But if you're lying, fuck your entire lineage. I hope they all die of leprosy. I said what I said. I'm tired of liars. There ain't no reason to lie. If you can't make it on the strength of what you truly fucking believe in, get the fuck out of the industry that you're in. Getting tired of people lying to get ahead. Tell the truth and be worthy of what the fuck you get instead of lying your way to the top. We're sick of that shit. So you got these people, pieces of shit human beings, a blockhead Comer up here just lying through their teeth. I'll let them finish.
That preclude your committee, if that's your position, from your committee calling you?
Well, we'll discuss that as we move forward. Obviously, we've got more people to bring in, and we'll see if any new evidence arises. But right now, I haven't seen anything. And if anybody
Can I just say this? The Epstein victims have exonerated President Trump. This is a trope that you guys are, a rabbit hole you guys are going down, but he's been exonerated over and over again by Epstein victims.
Okay, here's the problem that I have. Here's the problem that I have with this. Give me a second. Problem that I have with that, right, is that the people in the audience, when I say audience, the reporters, they know what they're saying to be lies. They're not behind us. I mean, I understand that I leap ahead of many of them because I do research way ahead of some of them. Like, I knew that photo. I checked it out that it was from a credible source, Thomas Massey, and I put it out. CNN, MSNBC, MS Now, all them, they put it out today. I put it out yesterday. Why? Because we had somebody who was credible, validated. They want to sit around on their fucking thumbs. They had it just like I did. And in fact, they had it before I did. But they had to go through all these checks and balances and see if their bosses would be okay with it. And then they put it out. Say, fuck that. If Thomas Massey put it out, we could put it out. Because the Republicans and Democrats, whoever, in House and Senate, it is on them to find the information. And lo and behold, it turns out to be a factual picture that was there, and they deleted it on fucking purpose. And you got Republicans like this blockhead Jim Comer and Nancy Mace, disgrace. They're out here trying to, and here's what kills me. They just deposed the man they've been hunting. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Bill Clinton is the big fish that Republicans have been dying to depose, dying to get him under on record for shit. These fools wanted him since 1990 something. That is their white whale. They want this man so bad, they want to find it. I'm surprised they didn't bring up all the shit he done in his life. Remember back in the day when you was in Arkansas, when you was a governor, did this happen? Did that happen? Did Monica Lewinsky swallow? I mean, they would have went through everything. And for some reason, these mugs came out and had nothing to share. You know how they twist shit. They had nothing to twist. As of today, about Bill Clinton. I was waiting for them to come out and say, you know how the Republicans and Democrats, when they go into a room, they come out and they have the opposing opposites. Just like today, Nancy Mace was like, yeah, I asked questions. I think it was Nancy Mace. I think it was Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert, one of the two. I think it was Nancy Mace. She said, I asked questions of her, and she was like, you know, upset, and she got into her feelings or some shit like that. And then one of Clinton's wife, one of her, I don't know who it was, her assistants or somebody, I don't know, marketing person, who the fuck it was. They didn't give the person's name of Hillary Clinton, but she said it's a crock of bullshit. What she said was a crock of bullshit. And I'm like, okay. And then you didn't hear no rebuttal back from Nancy Mace. She was trying to make it feel like she had something to say. And they were talking about Howard Lutnick. I'm like, what? Release it. Let's see it. They talked all this shit, but didn't release nothing. We want the whole file, too. We don't want your little edited version where you try to figure out where you got your moments, because you know how Republicans work, and I'm pretty sure Democrats do the same thing. I haven't seen it as much, but I've seen it with the Republicans big time. They'll bring out the worst thing they can possibly find. They'll put that out there for a week, have all their little minions run it over and over and over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden they'll pull out the entire video, and then you'll see the context. You'll be like, they ain't no big deal. But it's been a big deal for a week or two. It's been in the news for a week or two. Blowing the fuck up. And then when it comes out, it's a dud. But they edited it to make it what they wanted. They came out today and made something about Hillary Clinton and try to say, look what she talked about, Howard Lutnick. We want to hear about that. I'm like, Howard Lutnick is y'all guy. What did she say about Howard Lutnick that would make you look good? Because you put this dude in power. I don't even get it. They just threw out an innuendo and made it like it was supposed to be a big deal. And she said it's a crock of shit. No response to it after that. Thank you, Amalia K, for the donation. I appreciate you. Thank you for the donation. So, the $10. So, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, you were supposed to come out, Republicans, and have all this like shit you don't gathered about the big fish that you've hated. This is the dudes you guys have loved to hate. This is the man that can't breathe without you guys saying something negative about him. Some conspiracy about anything. I don't care what it is. He's got what? Fake this, fake that, alien this, alien that, cheating here, cheating there, stealing this, stealing that. Y'all came out, and it's crazy how there are more strange questions asked of Hillary Clinton than you brought up of Bill Clinton. I'm like, huh? Isn't this the dude you always wanted? You asked her about fucking aliens. What did you ask him about? You don't have one thing to come out and say that you asked him about. I'm confused, Republicans. This was your white whale. This was a dude that you was trying to make into a demon, an evil spirit. He was horrible. Clinton this, Clinton this, Clinton that, Clinton this, Clinton that, for fucking decades. And you brought him in, and you finally got him under oath, and a nothing burger came out of it? That shit don't make no sense. That shit don't make no sense. You didn't even make up nothing about him. He answered all our questions. Say what? Say what? I thought he was a demon. I thought he was evil. I thought he was Pizzagate. I mean, come on. You didn't ask him about Pizzagate? I mean, you asked her about Pizzagate. I'm confused. You didn't come out and say nothing about asking him about Pizzagate, nor did the Democrats. They didn't say nothing about you asking about Pizzagate. But you asked Hillary Clinton that? I'm confused, ladies. I don't know how you are, but I'm baffled by it. The person you hated all this time, you didn't ask no gotcha questions. In fact, he came out this is a Blockhead Comer. He came out and tried to exonerate Donald Trump by the words of Bill Clinton. I was like, say what? You listened to Bill Clinton's words and you gave them validation? Oh, this shit ain't right. This shit crazy, man. This shit go dum-dum. I'm like, come on, for real. You gonna see this shit, you gonna trip. Bill Clinton first came out in his deposition to say this. His opening statement. I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong. Period. With a T. That's what he said in his opening statement. We don't hear any kind of rebuttal of what they said to the statement. Hopefully when we come out, we'll see what the Republicans had to say. But then after he said that, they asked him about, I guess, what he knew. I don't know who asked, Republican or Democrat, about what he knew about Donald Trump. Well, not Donald Trump, but Epstein. And they asked him about, his association with Epstein. This is one I think the Democrats may have asked. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't see it. But this is another part of his opening statement, I believe. And that was to say, but even with 2020 hindsight, I saw nothing that ever gave me pause. We are only here because he hid it from everyone so well for so long. And by the time it came to light with his 2008 guilty plea, I had long stopped associating with him. Now, with the first 3 million documents, this would be true for Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, the first 3 million documents say he was done with him at 2002, 2003. He didn't get charged until like 2006 or 7. Somebody like that, went to jail, whatever, did his time 2008. So that would be true. Now, those other 3,000, we wait for those 3,000, 3 million. We wait for those to come out to make sure Bill Clinton's on the one. But for right now, based on the facts, he is correct from what we know, from what we see and what we read. Right? So you would think that they would come out and be like, getting at him or whatever. Well, what did they say? James Comer came out and said something to the effect that they asked Bill Clinton if Donald Trump, or somehow it came about, I don't know who asked, about the connection with Bill Clinton, with Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump's connection with Jeffrey Epstein. And he said, as far as I know, I was never told anything or learned anything from either one of them that Donald Trump was in any of the stuff that Epstein was doing. I wouldn't know. I don't have that information. Doesn't appear like it to me. He never mentioned that to me. So they tried to exonerate Donald Trump by saying what Bill Clinton knew of Donald Trump's connection with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, we can ask the motherfucker who actually was supposed to be there. Jeffrey Epstein's dead. Donald Trump is the other person. Put him under oath and ask him the questions. Because President Clinton is secondhand information. If Donald Trump was breaking the law and doing what these kids said he did to them, you think he would just run up and tell Bill Clinton if Bill Clinton wasn't a part of it? Say, yo, man, I was just at Epstein's house the other night, man. I got with this 13-year-old, man. I'm telling you, it was great. You think he gonna really do that? So you asking a dude about another dude's discretions, what he does with some child. You literally think that Donald Trump went to Bill Clinton and told him, yo, man, look what I did. I know it's illegal, but man, it was good. You really think that was the case, you dipshit. So to come out and try to validate Donald Trump and say that he is exonerated even by Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton did not know of Donald Trump doing anything like this. At the same time, he said Jeffrey Epstein hid this shit so well, Nobody knew, but Donald Trump said everybody knew. But it's crazy how nobody knew but Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump was the only person in this entire group of people that said everybody knew. Well, everybody you interviewed said they didn't know. Donald Trump is the only one who said, yep, everybody knew. So that sounds like Donald Trump knew. He can't speak for nobody else but himself. That's why the police looked at Donald Trump kind of side-eyed. Everybody knew? You can't speak for everybody, Donald Trump. You can only speak for yourself. And so far in our investigation, nobody knew that he was doing this shit but you. You're the only one that has come out and said everybody knew, as if you don't spoke to somebody about it beforehand and ignored it because you weren't the one who called the cops and told us he was doing it. You're the one calling the cops after we caught him and say he was doing it. So that kind of sounds like you knew he was fucking with kids. You just didn't report him. And everybody else was just like you, watching it, but not doing anything. But here's the problem. Nobody else came out and said they knew. So that would mean Donald Trump knew. And nobody around him ever said they knew. So that makes Donald Trump guilty in this. Nobody else. Republicans will never figure that shit out. They'll never figure it out. The man who called the cops and said he knew everything, just like everybody else did, but nobody else ever came out and said they knew. So if Donald Trump knew, and says everybody else knew, that would mean he would have had to spoken to other people, and they all just stayed out of it. So put him under oath and ask him, who are these people that you know for sure knew he was doing this? Because you said other people, everybody knew. Please tell us how you knew everybody knew. Who are these people that knew? And we all know Donald Trump is one of those people that literally says, everybody's saying, this person said, everybody says I'm great. Everybody, other people, million people, other people, this person, another person, is never a real human. It is literally him trying to validate what the fuck is going on by saying other people validate his stupidity. He knew what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein because he was a part of it. And when he got caught, he was trying to separate himself from it by saying everybody else knew. But he didn't have anybody else's name. He put himself in the fray by saying everybody knew. And if that officer, that sheriff, was worth his weight and all, he would have did his research on Trump and found out how much did this man know and how often was this man on this island or in these properties or even accused of these actions, because it is very suspicious for somebody to walk into a case and start putting more information into the case without telling everybody how the fuck he knows any of this shit. Donald Trump incriminated himself by talking to that captain or whatever, that police officer. He incriminated himself because nobody else said they knew about it. Only Donald Trump. And seeing as how he has multiple allegations of women saying that he raped them, not women, girls said that he raped them when they were 13, 14 years old with Jeffrey Epstein, it makes sense how he knows that Epstein was doing it. And nobody else does. As you see, Jeffrey Epstein said, Donald Trump is my best friend of 15 years or more. And Donald Trump said Epstein was his friend. He likes girls. He just likes them a little bit younger than I do. And Donald Trump has been out here talking about, he likes these 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls that used to model for him. He said that shit. Nobody else. Donald Trump said that. And then you got these pictures. Hello? You got these pictures. They look like friends. And then Donald Trump saying right here It is in like set in stone here. You feel me? Listen to what Donald Trump literally said. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Jeff or Jeffrey? You know him as a homie. He's Jeff. He's not just Jeffrey. You don't know him business sense. You know him as the homie. Terrific guy. Terrific guy, is he, Donald Trump? I thought you knew he was a pedophile for years. But he's a terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. As we can tell in the pictures and shit when you're having fun with him and you brought your wife around him. If you knew that he was a pedophile hanging out with kids and having sex with them and everybody knew, why was your wife hanging with him? Oh, your wife was fucking him before you. You got sloppy seconds is what happened. Oh, I see. So sloppy seconds and you brought your wife around the sloppy second dude. That's some freaky shit. How many men out here, if your wife had sex with a dude that you became cool with, how often y'all gonna be hanging with the dude that done rammed your daughter? I mean your daughter. Or they probably his daughter too. Rammed your wife. That done been all up in your wife. Done busted a nut on her face. How many of y'all gonna be hanging with that dude and your wife? How many of you gonna be hanging with the dude that busted on your wife? Don't tell me you would, because you be a lying motherfucker. But he did. He hung out with the dude that blew the back out on his wife and handed him his sloppy seconds. He married the sloppy seconds and had a kid with sloppy seconds. That shit ain't happening. That ain't happening for the average dude. But trifling motherfuckers, it will happen with. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying, if I'm hanging with my boy and my boy don't blew the back out of a girl that I'm talking to, me and her ain't getting together. I'm telling you that right now. Not that she's horrible. It's just that I am not going to be in a relationship with somebody. They can sit there and be like, oh, yeah, when your friend was doing this. No, don't want to hear it. No, can't hear it. I'm not doing that. And I don't know any man in my life who would. They would not want their homie to be coming over to their house, chilling and smoking, drinking a brew, smoking a cigar, and she walking around just chilling, and both of us don't been in it. It ain't happening, Jack. But with Donald Trump, it happened. Why? Because they are pedophiles. They are two birds of the same fucking feather. Or two feathers of the same bird, whatever you want to call it. They the same motherfucker. The only reason you would do some shit like that if you was just like each other. You didn't care. It's the only reason. There's no way I would do it. Not to say that person is bad. It's just that you don't want your homie coming over and looking at your girl. And you know he done saw everything under her skirt. And you going to sit here and be chilling with him while she sit there. No, it ain't happening, Jack. Not in most men's life, it is not. Donald Trump had no problem with it. He had no problem with it. Because he's just like Jeffrey Epstein. Just like him. He cheated on his wife with he later called her horse face. But you put your penis in her, dude. You can call her horse face. He cheated on her with a porn star and raw dogged it. Knowing she don't been with like 75, 11 dudes. Raw. And he like, I'm going to try it. Nah. And then come back home chilling. Nope, it ain't happening, Jay. That tells you the caliber of woman she is. That he went out and slept with somebody and she knew he did. And she still stayed with him. No, sir. No, ma'am. But anyway. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Ask him when he gets under oath, what do you mean by younger side? Donald Trump, you have literally said that you would have sex with your daughter if she wasn't your daughter. And she was kid. You said that she was voluptuous when she was a kid. Not now grown. She's been voluptuous since she was a kid. I ain't never thought of a child as voluptuous. But you thought of a kid as voluptuous. Ask him when you had your teenage pageantry or whatever it was, competition, and you went behind the scenes and looked at them naked. Why were you looking at 13, 14-year-old kids naked and talking about it on Howard Stern? How does that make sense? If you're not a pedophile, why did you say pedophile type shit to Howard Stern? And why did Howard Stern, he don't know this answer, but for me personally, why did Howard Stern get aroused by that? Really? Wow, that must have been cool. Howard Stern is suspect. Yes, he is. Because he knew that Donald Trump had teenage pageants. 13, 14, 15 years old, 16. And Donald Trump was bragging about looking at children naked. It's in the public eye. It ain't shit I'm making up. Come on now. Come on now. But that's what he said on the younger side. That was him, not me. I didn't say this shit. Donald Trump did. And then Donald Trump writes a letter. What was it called? A birthday card, I think he did. What was his birthday card? Do I have it? That's not it. There it is. Birthday card. Remember that? The birthday card that he wrote? This one. Yeah. You see the little small breasts? Underdeveloped breasts? Yeah, you see those? That ain't no grown woman. That's a child's body. And he wrote down here for the hair, Donald's name. We know that's Donald Trump's signature. Ain't nobody copying Donald Trump's signature and sending it to Jeffrey Epstein while everybody else validates that it's theirs. Donald Trump says somebody made his shit up. Ain't nobody stupid. This man, he did a voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. And this is Donald saying, yes. What does he say? It's kind of small for me. I'm trying to read it here. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, as he writes in the breast. That's Donald Trump writing in the breast area. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Then Jeffrey, nor will I, since I know what it is. When y'all get him under oath, ask him what the fuck this shit mean. He gonna say I didn't write it, but we know. If he say he didn't write it and we find out he did, he lied under oath, send his ass to jail. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Then he got Jeffrey. Yes, we do. And what does it say? I don't want to miss it. Come to think of it. What does it say? Donsky, whatever the fuck it is. There's enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Enigmas never age. Seem very happy, these people. Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. So what was this enigma the last time he saw you that never aged? I just want to know that. And then let's see. A pal is a wonderful thing. Pal. Who gets the title pal? I mean, that's some white shit. I don't call nobody pal. Is that some white shit? Y'all say in the comments. That's some white shit. You're my pal. My pal. I have never called a human being on this planet my pal. That's some shit from like, what, the 1950s? I don't know nothing about no pal. What the fuck is a pal? He'll say a friend, homie, my boy, but pal? Come on. That's just on a different level. It's a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And it's kind of hard to read. Might ever be another wonderful secret. May every day be another wonderful secret. Secrets. And what was Jeffrey Epstein? Filled with secrets. And what was Donald Trump? Filled with secrets. They both were robbing people. And the other thing, yeah, he signed his name in the meow. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Underage breast, and he signed his name in the area of the vagina. And then he goes on to write this whole message that's cryptic about having wonderful secrets and enigmas never age. The idea of being something that nobody knows what it is. That's what an enigma is. They don't know who we are. It's so cool that nobody knows what we do and who we are. We're just rich, having a good time and doing whatever we want to do. It just never ages. And Donald Trump knows this is incriminating. That's why he says it wasn't him. And the idea that Republicans or anybody would sit there and be like, it ain't him. I mean, really? Alan Dershowitz, the one he put in there, he says it's him. Everybody else says it's him. Ghislaine Maxwell put it together. Had it leather bound. Do you really think your homie, your pal, you think that this shit was fake? Who sent it, Donald Trump? Who knew of his birthday and decided back in the day when he turned 60 to send him a fake Donald Trump, the pal, a document that has writing in it and your signature? And here's the crazy part. This fool said, I don't even draw. And then all of a sudden, all these pictures come out of him drawing shit and sending people shit. He got caught in that. That ain't my signature. All of a sudden, you look at his new signature, and everybody, it ain't his new signature. It's done changed. Then you go back to the same year that this came out. You look at the signatures and things that he actually wrote on other stuff that he validates and other pictures and shit he wrote on. Exact same. It's a damn shame. And Tammy's right. The secrets need clarity under oath. Put him under oath. Tell him saying that's not it. And then once he lies, charge him for every fucking lie, because Donald Trump can't tell the truth. I said it here. Donald Trump will lie about everything there, and each one of those lies will be something they can charge him with. Every one of them will be something he can lie. He will not tell the truth under oath, not one bit. What's your name? Donald, whatever, Trump. They'll be like, we know that not to be true. You know what I'm saying? He'll say whatever the hell he needs to say to make himself look bigger than he actually is, or better than he actually is. I'm telling you, the Democrats put him under oath. I told you. Here's the thing right here. Y'all know I'm about to spit some game here in a second. Do this, Democrats. If you get him in there, I don't know who it is that's going to be in that room, but I want you to ask him the very, very first question, and I guarantee you he will go to jail. Donald Trump, in the 2020 election, did you lose? Automatically. No, I won, and I won by this, and it was such a right there. He broke the law. He lied. He lied on the oath. Get him. And I ain't fucking with you, Democrats. I literally want that question asked. And once you ask it and he lies, I literally want you to charge him. America wants you to charge his ass because we know he's lying. He's going to have to prove that there was some kind of falsehood in it. And when he says, I won, and say, well, there were 61 cases in which you lost all of them but one on a technicality that you could refile, but you didn't refile because you knew you was going to lose that one. You lost it because you didn't fill it out right, or you didn't lose it because you didn't fill it out right. Had to be sent back. But you didn't fill it out right because you knew you was going to lose it. So 60 cases of you coming out when you have evidence and you had zero. Ask him that for the very first question. Donald John Trump, did you win the 2020 election? Was there fraud? The minute this man lies, somebody needs to be filing a suit. And I ain't talking about tomorrow, the next week, while he's still in the goddamn deposition. Somebody just step up, walk away, file the suit. That's one lie. Keep it going. Another lie. You get up, go file the suit. Another lie. You get up, go file the suit. Oh, another one. You go file the suit. lie under oath, and we want him sued for every fucking one of them. Not every other one, every one of them. Is that your real hair? Okay, all right, cool. Right color of your skin. Do you look like that? Do you weigh 250? And are you 6 what you say? Okay, let's measure the bitch. No, you 325. Sue him for it. I'm telling you, I am not bullshitting. I shall not bullshit. I am straight facts, no chaser. Every fucking lie. Every fucking lie. Sue him for it. Small, medium, tall, whatever. Whatever lie it is, sue him for it. Try to put his ass behind bars for the shit he says. 100%. They do it to us. I got up there and told them, did you make this much money, this much a year? Be like, nah, I really made this. Right here it says you made that. And you was off 35 cents. They would put my ass in jail for 35 cents. Don't lie. Don't lie. They would. So Donald Trump needs to go. This right here that you see, Donald Trump draws a underage girl, and he draws his name in the vagina part. And he talks about being an enigma and that they don't age. It's so crazy how he put the age in there. Knowing that he doesn't, and Jeffrey Epstein doesn't like older people. So the young people they love. My thing is this. We need to depose Melania, Trump, and Donald Trump. Those two must now. Because they got Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton didn't even know her. You know, Melania knows her and Jeffrey Epstein. It's her turn. And if she doesn't come up, Democrats, once we give you the House and the Senate, that bitch better come back up. Ain't no question about it. Ain't no determining. Maybe we shouldn't know. Fuck that. She comes up. And the moment that heifer lies, jail bound she shall be. And because she broke the law and she was an immigrant and got here, that's the thing. Once you get her, like I said, how did you get a Einstein visa when you didn't qualify? Go ahead, Melania. Oh, you lied? Okay, she lied under oath and she got it illegally. Revoke it. She lied, jail time, and once her jail time's over, kick her ass out the country. Simple as that. Where's the lie? You're trying to get everybody out of this country that lied, cheated, and stole. If she lied about getting in here on an Einstein visa, when the bitch ain't nowhere near worthy of anything Einstein, then she needs to go and come back in legally if she wants to come back. If not, keep your ass where the fuck you came from. I said what I said. Now let's get back away from that picture. We had Lutnick before. Y'all remember this. Today, Donald Trump came out and said something about Lutnick. I'm going to have to get out of here pretty soon. But he said something about Lutnick. And this is what he had to say prior. This is beforehand.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me. And he says, and the right kind of massage. And my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry. We have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
A bullshit.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife.
You realize that, this visit took place after he'd been convicted, right? I mean, you made a very big point of saying that you sensed that this was a bad person in 2005. And then, of course, in 2008, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution of a minor. And yet you went and had this trip and other interactions.
Exactly. And here's a picture in which he was there, hanging out with his sons, who were supposed to be 16 years old. And oops, my watch got hit. Here's the thing that's so weird about this whole thing. If you go look at the document, I'm just saying, you know that Jeffrey Epstein is a pedophile at this moment. You know it. They don't ifs, ands about it. You know he's a pedophile. Had a huge pedophile ring against him. He ended up getting charged for prostitution with an underage person, which is pedophilia. But for some reason, rich people having sex with an underage child, as long as you give them money, is not illegal. It's not pedophilia. It's called prostitution. That's kind of crazy. But he gets this sweetheart deal. You know it, Howard Lutnick. And then you bring your children to an island where a pedophile lives. If he had security there, which I think he does, and they all held you while he ended up raping your children, what would you have felt like? Because you don't have no police there to help you on somebody else's island. It's his island. He owns the entire fucking island, which means any kind of police forcing there, if there is any, it's owned by him. Any kind of security that would protect you and your family, it's owned by him. You brought nannies, not unless they were gun-toting nannies. You could have took your entire family to an island and all of y'all could have got harmed sexually by a predator. And you was like, no big deal. I'm going to bring all people with me, my kids and everything, to a pedophile island. Really? Really? Parent of the year. Let's get some kind of medal or something for that. But where's your daughters at right now when this asshole is sitting here in front of you? Ghislaine Maxwell probably over there doing something to him, probably grooming him. Don't know. Do you? You don't. He's here with these men. Who's with his daughters right now? And the creepy thing about their email that talks about them coming here, he says who's going to be there. This dude, Howard Lutnick, what does he say? In that email, it says something to the fact of he's talking about his sons, 2 16-year-olds. I'm guessing they're twins because he said 2 16. Maybe it was one of that dude on the other side. Maybe his son was 16 and Lutnick's son was 16. I don't know. Maybe they're twins. But they said 2 16-year-olds, like some 14-year-olds, some 12-year-olds, something like that, and a 7-year-old. Why on earth did they send an email to Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile that fucks kids? Why would they send him a ledger of how old the kids were going to be that are coming with him? Think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just think. As a parent, I know y'all good parents. If you were going to do business, let's just say you had already signed a deal with somebody and you had to do business with this pedophile because you done already signed up with somebody else and they tell you, oh yeah, our major partner is him. Like, fuck, I got to do business with him because I already signed a deal. Let's just say that happened. Benefit of the doubt. Would you bring your children on the island, or would you come with gunned, manned security and your little nannies on your yacht and keep their asses on the yacht while you go do business with this pedophile? That's not what he did. You see his 2 kids right there. He brought his children around a pedophile. And because that pedophile is richer than Howard Lutnick. And Howard Lutnick is walking behind him like a little puppy. You can tell, even in this picture, the person who has power is Jeffrey Epstein. And you brought your kids to look up to a rich pedophile, sex trafficking piece of shit. That's what you brought your kids and business partners around. Yeah. You are not worthy to be working in the house for the American people, because we give a fuck about our kids. Even if it's not my child, I wouldn't want my friend's child or any other American child around you, because your choices for those you love is shit. So how do you think it's going to be for people you don't really care about? I'm just saying. My kids would never be around that shit at all. And you know that we know that Howard Lutnick, his choices of bringing his kids around a pedophile that he knew was a pedophile, his 7-year-old daughter, he brought around this asshole. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other kids that are 13, 14, 15, and 16, whatever it was, he brought them around a pedophile. And we know he liked boys and girls. That Sasha guy tells you about the boy aspect. And then the rest of the people, Virginia, Ufray, and the rest talk about how he liked girls too. And Donald Trump liked boys and girls because obviously he slobbed a knob of somebody by the name of Bubba. No straight guy does that. Bi guy, maybe, but no straight guy. So you got all this going on. And they want us to believe they don't need to be deposed. Howard Lutnick is the next one to come, yo. Knock that down real quick. Democrats, Republicans, y'all know you need to knock him down. And for Democrats, when you got him in office, in the room, you need to ask him, how did you know Donald Trump? Did you meet him through Epstein? No, you met him through some other deal? Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you ever been on the island when Donald Trump was there too? Did you know? When did you find out that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile? Oh, 2008 when he went to court. So why did you decide to do business with a guy that you said in 2005, before he was caught in 2008, that he was creepy? Why would you do business with a creepy man and bring your kids around a creepy man? If y'all don't ask these questions, Democrat, get out of office. We voting your ass out. These are too simple. These are gimme answers. These are gimme questions. Gimme. Too easy. And the last thing is that Donald Trump tries to clear Lutnick. Tries to clear him. This was right here to let you know that Donald Trump is guilty, and he knows that Lutnick is guilty, and he's doing his best to try not have these house of cards fall, because all these bitches are falling down, and he's trying his best to keep those bitches up. Calling himself, I've been exonerated. How you been exonerated when you have never been really investigated? Can't be exonerated until we look into the people. They ignored Karen Johnson. They did an investigation and have over 50 pieces of paper dealing with 5 302s that you guys have disappeared. And had it not been for this organization, I forgot the name of it. I think it's in this picture right here. What's the name of it? What's the name of them? You'll see it probably in this picture. Had it not been for that organization, when you guys first put it up, they copied everything. I don't know how they did it. These people need credit. They copied everything and threw it into a system. So therefore, when you did delete, they had a copy of it. And that's why this picture exists. Because you guys put it out and you realize, oh shit, take it down. You took it down. They still had it. What else do they still have? I don't know. We're going to see. They might be holding it off just so that they can make money, because this right here blew the fuck up today. And Thomas Massey put it out. I put it out immediately after finding out that. The news put it out strong today. So we're going to see if they keep on leaking more shit. I'll try my best to be on top of it and get it out there real quick. But this is where the turd Donald Trump alongside Carolyn Levitt, the Stedford wife type woman, he was sitting there answering questions and doing his best to protect Howard Lutnick.
Howard Lutnick. What's your reaction to that?
Well, Howard would go in and do whatever he has to say. He's a very innocent guy, doing a good job.
He's an innocent guy doing a good job. He's going to do okay. He's not innocent. Have we not realized that Donald Trump has all the pedophiles and people who hung out with Jeffrey Epstein surrounding him? Because just like Jeffrey Epstein, he has them either on photograph, on picture, some document. Because just like Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump had cameras in Mar-a-Lago. He had cameras in that Washington, D.C. hotel that he wanted all these people to go to. Just like Jeffrey Epstein, whenever you came near Jeffrey Epstein, you're going to come do business with him. Oh, come to my place and stay at my place. I got a bunch of space. And every room was recorded. The same shit that Jeffrey Epstein did. Jeffrey Epstein told Michael Wolff that Donald Trump was the originator of this shit. Epstein copied Donald Trump. Modeling agency, having all these girls around, Donald Trump had it first. Jeffrey Epstein followed. Pictures being taken, it's said that Donald Trump had that. His Mar-a-Lago, Epstein did it with his $77 million place. They both were trafficking in the exact same shit. So when you see that picture that talks about Donald Trump in his birthday card for Epstein, when you see that and it says that they are enigmas, that they both are one and the same, that picture is literally talking about enigmas, that they do something that nobody else knows about. And that's what they're talking about. These people were running a game on many people. When you start to, this is what Michael Wolff was talking about. Democrats, New York, other places that Donald Trump was in, follow the money. These properties that Donald Trump was gaining were not properties that he could buy. These were properties that other countries, our enemies like Russia, were funneling money into this country through Donald Trump and through Jeffrey Epstein. That's what Michael Wolff said. Michael Wolff said Donald Trump had a property, not Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein had a property for $30 million, and he was happy and excited about it and brought Donald Trump to ask him about what the pool should look like. He's going to improve upon this $30 million home that he was going to resell for a lot of money. And Donald Trump went up under him and bid $40 million. Jeffrey Epstein knew Donald Trump did not have that kind of money, so he knew that Donald Trump had gotten his own Russian to buy this shit from out from under him, bought it for $10 million more out from under Donald Trump, out from under Jeffrey Epstein, and then sold that same home for $90 million, a $60 million profit in which Donald Trump did not get $60 million. That means somebody else who bought this property that Donald Trump was playing the person to funnel this money through our system. Donald Trump got that extra money somehow, and somebody else got the majority of it. Donald Trump got a piece of it. Epstein was doing the same fucking thing. That's what Michael Wolff was talking about. And Democrats, start listening to Michael Wolff, ask questions of Michael Wolff, and then take your ass in there when Donald Trump gets deposed and shock the fucking world with what Michael Wolff is asking and saying that Jeffrey Epstein said about Donald Trump. Get Donald Trump's ass, because we all know Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump are one and the same. You don't do $30 million and then sell it for $90 million and Epstein be pissed off. And here's the validation for it. Here's the validation. Because people were saying, Why are you going to believe Jeffrey Epstein? He was a pedophile. Even the CNN, MSNBC, they'll do that shit. And I'm like, you know why? Because what happened today? And I'm going to lead with this. I'm going to leave with this as we bring this to a close. What happened today? Today, when President Clinton was deposed, President Clinton offered up the reason why Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump broke up as friends. Donald Trump told the world that they broke up because he was stealing his girls or whatever from Jeffrey Epstein was stealing his girl from Mar-a-Lago, and he thought he was kind of creepy. So therefore, he banned him from Mar-a-Lago and all this other shit and blah, blah, blah. Michael Wolff said that Jeffrey Epstein said that him and Donald Trump broke up over a land deal because he was buying a place for $30 million and he wanted to find out about the pool, so I get how much he can do with Donald Trump to include his friend and tell him about it. And he was going to fix up the pool. Donald Trump went and bid $40 million. And Epstein knew he did not have that $40 million, so he had to figure it out. And he found out that this is Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff. He found out that Donald Trump had a financier from Russia, an oligarch there, give Donald Trump this $40 million to be able to buy this property out from under Jeffrey Epstein, who was doing the same thing, laundering money in this fucking country. But Donald Trump learned from him and went and stole from him. And Jeffrey Epstein was pissed about Donald Trump stealing out from under him, doing the same shit that they were doing, but he did it to his own homie. And what did Bill Clinton say today? What Donald Trump told me about why him and Jeffrey Epstein broke up, it was over a land deal. Under oath, Bill Clinton said Donald Trump told him Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's relationship broke off because of a land deal. Not because of what Donald Trump said. Under oath. It's kind of weird how Michael Wolff said the same thing. Jeffrey Epstein said the same thing. And it's only Donald Trump that's saying something different. I think that kind of validates it until you get Donald Trump under oath and ask him that question and let him lie again. And then we want Michael Wolff to sue so that the truth comes out and Donald Trump goes to jail where he fucking belongs. Always belonged. He never belonged in our office. I can't wait till he gets out so we can erase the history of this man and his family. Once they're out, they are dead to America. Even if they're still walking this earth, they are dead to America because they tried to destroy what we stand for. And we're proud to be an American, not their kind of American. And all you MAGA people that stood behind this shit, yeah, you're not patriotic. You're an enemy of the state. And the moment he's out, you're going to feel that same wrath that he feels, ostracized. Because you try to destroy a country that tried to love on you, but you're so hateful that you wanted to fuck it up in the name of what you consider democracy or patriotism, when it was really the real reason is that you guys were an enemy of this country, never a lover of this country. Point blank, period. I said what I said. All right, ladies and gentlemen, much love to y'all. I love America. I love the good people in America. You people who are trying to destroy it, fuck you and your entire lineage. I hope y'all die off and get leprosy, because it's just crazy as hell how you would sit here and act like you love a country while trying to destroy it. I have no problem of fixing what's wrong with this country, but to destroy it because you believe you need to be centered when you've done nothing to be centered, you haven't worked hard enough to be centered in this country. Everybody else is busting their ass. Good white people, Latin, Asian, everybody is trying their best to get by, to succeed in whatever it is they're doing. And you, the select group of people who cater to rich people because you're a fucking sycophant to people who are trying to destroy the country, but you want to get close to something that you call richness or proximity to whiteness and all this shit, and you're trying to destroy the country so you can become important. How about you do what the rest of us do? How about you pull yourself up by your intellectual and physical and economic bootstraps and earn what the fuck you get? Fuck the whiteness, fuck all the different races and shit like that. Why don't you just earn what the fuck you deserve? And if you don't get it, then you obviously don't deserve it. How about that? Instead of trying to steal your way to the top, lie your way to the top, destroy the country to the top. Fuck you. How about the rest of us say, fuck you, and keep your ass at the bottom until you learn how to swim with the rest of us who are doing our best to be good to all people? How about that? And when we wake up as Americans and say, fuck those Americans who don't want to actually live by its creed, then we'll become a great country because we ignore those who are trying to destroy it with division. You got to understand something. I grew up realizing when I was a kid, I wanted to be friends with everybody. And my mom told me something very poignant. You have friends and you have associates. In this country, we got Americans who are our people who love us, and we got associate Americans, people who want to pretend like they're Americans, but they don't want to play the same game as Americans. Work hard and rise because you deserve it, right? Those Americans, 30% of us, they are destroying this country. The 70% of us are trying to do our best. And when we get rid of those 30%, when I mean get rid of them, it's stop paying attention to them people. Send them back to the cave in which they want to live. And let this country grow into the country that we all want it to be. Opportunity, love, respect. None of this divisive bullshit. Those divisive people is the reason why we're divided. That 30% that wants to divide and conquer. The only reason they're in power is because that group of evil people are united. And 70% of us are divided over everything else. They're divided, they're united on hate, division, power, money. And we're divided on love, respect, democracy. And if we unite around those things instead of divide around those things, they become a thing of the past. And that's what they hate. That's why they're not following the law. That's why they shit on our House and Senate and Congress. That's why they don't want you to vote. That's why they're trying to build ways that they can divide so they can win. Because if good people united, the evil would never fucking win. And that's why they do evil. Because they know they can't win with doing things right. They have to cheat and do disrespectful shit. So good people in America, my fellow Americans who love and respect all Americans, it's time for us to unite and put those people to the pastures. If you can't do that, they're going to always rise and fuck this country up. And we're going to always have the situation where we got to fix up their fuck ups. It's about time we unite around democracy so that we can move forward and upward. Always, not just every fucking 4 years, always. If you're not trying to build this country to make it better, if you're always trying to divide this country, get the fuck out this country. That's not what we're about. We're about being united and moving forward. That's what it should be. That's the way I look at it. Other than that, you guys have a great night. Y'all be safe. Have a great weekend. I'm going to see you back on Monday doing what I do, straight facts, telling you the truth as I see it. And actually, as is noted, I try my best to do my research to find out stuff. And sometimes I take a leap like I did with that picture with Howard Lutnick, and it turns out we were right. These people are not trying to make America great. They're literally trying to own America and give it a different look, a different feel. And this country is about the greater part of all of us, not the evil part of us. Killing people on the streets, taking people off the streets for no reason, breaking into people's home and telling them you're looking for a missing baby just so that you can snatch somebody illegally. That's not America. That's some Hitler type shit. America is following due process, following the law. Even the law can have hitches, but at least due process. That's hard enough as it is to follow due process and get your rights right. That's already hard enough. But when people stop listening to due process, then you definitely not getting your right opportunity, no matter what race, color, creed. But they're doing it to mostly people of color. And in the process, some white people out here have determined that there are some of you white people that are good white people that are collateral damage. You will die for them to get their hateful ways done. And they're willing to sacrifice you to put their hate on top. And you need to separate yourself from them because they don't have your back. They care less about you. They have an agenda to make this country white, and that's it. Even if they have to bring people from South Africa, Sweden, wherever it may be, they want a white nation. They want their white Jesus, even though Jesus was brown. It says in the Bible. That's what trips me out about them. It's like, how do you say you worship Jesus and God, but then give him another face? You worship, in the Bible it says, worshiping a false idol. You can't make it into heaven. It'd be easier to get through the eye of a needle than to get into the gates of heaven if you believe in a false idol. But when you look up at that white man, blue eyes, brown hair, when the Bible itself says the man is brown, he's Jewish, and he has hair of wool, how the hell can you make it into heaven worshiping a false idol that you see at your church? You can't. Not based on your own religion. And these white nationalists will have you believe in that white Jesus and tell you you're going to make it into heaven worshiping a false idol. Now, if you don't believe me, if you think I'm trying to push something on you because I'm black or I'm brown or whatever, nope. I spit facts, baby. Go look at it in the Bible and get back at me. I'm not going to lie to you. I believed in that growing up because nobody told me. But I sat down and read the Bible, and it shook my core when I found out Jesus was brown. That's when I realized, walking around looking at people talking about they Christians and they got this white dude on their shirt, I mean, there's no way in hell you can make it into heaven because that's a false idol. It says so in the Bible. That's not me. That's the Bible. Let's get it. But anyway, you guys, you got to have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you when I see you.